Hello everybody and welcome back to my YouTube channel. Before we start, a massive thank you to the EA Creator Network for giving me early access to the brand new Enchanted by Nature pack. And if you are planning on pre-ordering or buying this pack, don't forget to use my EA Creator code, which is Tazkabaz. And let's get stuck into today's video. So I've now done my early access, my first view of the Enchanted by Nature pack. And now I want to do a video. I want to explore the build buy a little bit more. On first glance of the new pack, I'm sure you lot have seen it by now. I'm sure you've seen other creators' videos. I'm intrigued into what you lot are thinking about this new pack. I, for one, literally in the first video, I liked it, but I don't love it. I'm not a big occult player. I've said that at least 5 times over the last sort of couple of weeks. I'm not a massive occult player anyway, so to be quite honest, I don't see myself playing with the fairies. I didn't get a massive chance to explore the kind of outdoor nature living vibe that comes with the new pack. I'm hoping to actually explore it a little bit more in my current generation of my Sims in Bloom challenge. However, the video that I literally uploaded yesterday, that was 3 hours long, cut down to just under an hour, I think it was in the end. And it got to the point when I was recording it where I was like, do you know what, I'm gonna have to stop. I really enjoyed exploring fairies. And to be honest, I barely touched the surface. I barely scratched the surface of it. There's the full ranking fairy tree system thing where, you know, a lot of people I'm sure are going to go into the elements of going down the different routes of being like a devious fairy and being a good fairy and all of the other things. But my attention span isn't the best. So honestly, I kind of got a little bit bored. And I feel bad for saying it, but that's just me. That's just who I am as a person. My attention span isn't the best anyway. And I enjoyed looking through it. I really, really did. I enjoyed Bruce Almighty, or Spruce Almighty, whatever he's called. But to be fair, that was my honest, raw first look. I don't script anything. I just look and I go through. I didn't even realise that Spruce Almighty and Mother Nature had a history. I just thought she was his mum. So ignore all of that. But I did enjoy looking through it. How often will I use the fairy element of this pack? Probably quite minimal, but I loved exploring the build buy, and I'm not gonna lie, I have done 2 builds now with this pack. This one that you're currently seeing and a starter home which I'll be uploading tomorrow. And I must say, I do really like the build buy. I can see myself doing this kind of build quite often. I think my favourite style of build to do is like a cottage. So this kind of like whimsical nature themed vibe I really, really like of the build buy. I also plan to do like a Hobbit build, which I actually did a few years ago now, but I think it's going to be even better with the Enchanted by Nature pack. So I was quite excited to get cracking with this build because this was going to be my first time properly looking through build buy. When I did the first video that I uploaded, I didn't get a chance to properly go through build buy because I just thought everybody's going to be showing build buy. We don't want to see the same thing. So I just thought I'm going to dive deep straight into it and explore the gameplay element, which I did enjoy doing. And honestly, that video would have been 2 hours long had I have properly explored Cass, had I have properly explored build buy as well. But I am very happy with how this build turned out in the end. I didn't give myself any money restrictions because, like I said, the build that you will see tomorrow is going to be a starter home build. And I actually built that one before I built this one. So I had money restrictions for that one, but I thought, do you know what? This one I'm just going to build however I want. I didn't want the build to be too big because I wanted to have some exterior landscaping. Like I wanted to have like a nice little garden on the side. And I just didn't want to go too extreme. I don't tend to do big builds. Weirdly enough, I used to. And if you know me and if you've been following my streams, my Twitch streams or my YouTube channel for a while, then you'll know that back, say like 5 years ago, I never did gameplay. I never did Cass. I predominantly did builds. That's all I did. I would build, I would do really big builds. I have built massive homes. I built Buckingham Palace of the request for somebody before. I've built mansions. But as I have done more gameplay in the last sort of 2 to 3 years, I've kind of become a little bit more like self-conscious of my builds. Like I've become a little bit more critical where I don't think that I'm that great of a builder anymore. From, you know, what I used to be like 5 years ago, because all I do nowadays is I do gameplay. I love CAS because I use my CC in CAS. I don't use build CC, but I have gotten so deep into that when I do build, I tend to be very critical. And usually for the first kind of 90% of the build, I don't love it. And then by the end, I'm like, oh, actually, it's not too bad. Like, I haven't done too bad of a job. So that is me with every single build. I would like to, I enjoy the process of building, to be honest. And I really enjoyed the process of building with this new expansion pack. And with the debug as well, you'll see some of the landscaping that I'm doing here. I used the extensive debug plants and trees. So I do actually enjoy the process of building, but I think I'm just such a critical, I'm not a negative Nancy or a negative Nelly. I just criticise myself a lot. I don't give myself much credit. And yeah, but I do love building. I do enjoy it. I'm normally happy with the outcome. So maybe I just need to get stuck into it. I need to bite the bullet. I need to grow a pair and do some more builds over here on YouTube as well, because I'm doing a lot of gameplay at the minute. And to be honest, with this new expansion pack, I am really excited to get it into my gameplay. Like I touched upon earlier, my Sims in Bloom challenge is, I'm Gen 8 now, I'm 8 generations in, and I'm planning on utilising this pack with my current gen, who basically, cut a long story short, she is living with an evil witch. She's living in Glimmerbrook with an evil witch. She's cursed, well, she has been cursed by the witch, and she needs to escape. And I was thinking that the way that we escape is we escape and we live in the natural world. So she also has to end up selling her potions. She ends up selling like jewellery as well to make a living. So I thought the apothecary skill could come in quite handy there with like the whole potion making. And yeah, so that is the plan for my Sims in Bloom. So I am excited to see how it goes with that gameplay. Before the pack came out, I was contemplating doing a fairy series, but remember I said about my short attention span, what can often happen is I will be all in on something for like the first sort of few weeks, and then I get bored, and then I'm not the type of person where I can like fight through the boredom either, because I know you lot would be able to see it. So then I ditch it, which, you know, Nightmare Legacy, RIP. But I don't think I'm as in on this pack. I like the pack. I think the fairies are great. I think the people that have wanted fairies for such a long time, you know, the people that have been begging for fairies to be added to the game, I think they're going to love it because it does seem really in-depth. What I will say as well is, well, finish that sentence. But for me, I just don't think I'm as invested in them to do a like honest, true gameplay series. But what I will say is I was quite overwhelmed. Like even when I first viewed the gameplay trailer, and then when I first got early access and I was like recording myself looking through the pack in the first video that I posted yesterday, I think I said it multiple times in that video, but oh my God, it was quite overwhelming. I am the type of person where it's like a lot of information all at once I find quite difficult. So trying to take everything in, what with the apothecary skill, the fairies rank, the overcharge, like the, not the overcharging, the emotional recharging and everything, natural living skill, all of the different things that came with this pack. Like, my gosh, it is extensive. There is a lot to it. I truly do believe that it deserves to be an expansion pack. I know a lot of people were saying, oh, it should have been a game pack, blah, blah, blah. But I do believe there is enough content here, more than enough content in this to be an expansion pack. But for me, it's a lot. Like, it is a lot all at once. And I know people complain when there's too little in the packs. They're like, God, this kit was so small and blah, blah, blah. But for me, there was just so much that I was getting so overwhelmed. And I think I'm like having to take regular breaks from it to be like, oh, okay, so this is new as well. And I'll come away and like, oh yeah, and that's new too. Otherwise, all of it all at once is just too much. But, which is why I enjoy doing the build, I think, because it's all there, it's all laid out for you. Not a lot is going on at one time. I'm just happily, peacefully building. I had some music in the background, and I really enjoyed how the build turned out. This one turned out to be a 3-bedroom, 2-bathroom house, which I was pretty happy with. Considering the build from the outside does look quite small, I was pretty happy that I managed to squeeze 3 bedrooms into it. So you could have like a little family in here, you know, a parents and 2 kids, or you could change the rooms and you could have roommates. You could kind of do whatever you want with it. Green as well. Green and white isn't normally a colour theme that I would go for when I am building, and some of the swatches in this new pack are very like out there as well, so hence why I went for green and white. I tried to do something a little bit different and get out of my comfort zone with building, and I am actually really happy with how it turned out. I'm happy with the little garden off to the side and just happy with how I decorated the build as well. So hopefully you lot like it too. When the pack does come out for everyone, I will double check how, but I'll make sure to try and get this over onto the normal Sims gallery so that you lot can download it if you would like to. If you did enjoy watching this build, if you enjoyed this video, don't forget to give it a big thumbs up. Comment down below if you're excited for the fairies pack, and honestly, please let me know as well if you are, just because I'm not like as fussed. I'm not an occult player. Let me know if you are though. And like I said, if you're planning on buying it, don't forget to use my EA creator code. Thank you again to the EA Creator Network for allowing me early access to the pack, and stay tuned for tomorrow's video where I'm going to be building a starter home. Take care, look after yourselves, and I will see you next time. Taz out.